Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, let's cover both Bitcoin and the stock market. As we covered in yesterday's video, there might be a potential pullback here in the stock market or a potential big crash coming. I want to talk about this further in the video because since yesterday's video, I saw a lot of people completely misunderstood the whole video or they really don't watch it. So let's jump right into it. So right now here on Bitcoin, as I covered in last video, I'm still sitting in my long here. My next target is this median line here at 94, maybe 100,000. Just as we had in the past here, this pitchfork here, we can see how we hit the median line. We found resistance. Right now, I'm speculating that we'll come once again up here to the median line. Most likely going to be the bull market top or at least a strong pullback, and we're going to start trending downwards. So this my outlook still remains the same for Bitcoin. All I said guys yesterday is this pattern has played out before in the stock market, as we can see here on the shorter time frame from the second wave to the third wave here. We can see once we hit the minus 0.236, the stock market corrected with 30%. Right now we see the exact same thing happening here on the monthly. I've been talking about this for days now. People told me you can't just flip-flop your analysis. You've been bullish this whole time. Why are you flipping bearish? All I said guys was if we get a monthly close below the minus 0.236, there would be a potential short here and we could see a massive pullback. All I said, if we would get a crash here, let's just say for a second, let's just speculate, we'll get a crash here. It will be very easy to look back and say, well, this was obvious here. That's all I've been saying. I've been very bullish. I've been the biggest bull the whole way up here on the S&P 500. All I said, guys, I'm closing my longs here and people absolutely lost their minds. Here's a video from 3 days ago I posted. You can see here, I've been covering this every day. I've been talking about the monthly close here on the minus 0.236 and people telling me I'm just flipping bearish here all of a sudden. This is something I've been talking about in all my videos, so please pay attention to guys before you start commenting that I'm flipping bearish. Also, as I covered in my video, I'm still long here on Bitcoin, but I said currently the stock market looks risky to me and it's a lot of uncertainty. I really hope I'm wrong about this. I'm not calling for a crash. I'm not saying we're gonna get it. All I said, I have two targets for the S&P 500. Right now, we're sitting at the first target here. We got a monthly close last second below the minus 0.236. But if we will get another monthly close above it, awfully bullish, and I'm going to continue to call for this massive pitchfork I've been having on the stock market, calling for 7,000, which is an absolutely insane target. I understand that. So that's my outlook for right now. So I have two targets. If stock market continues higher, I will call for this median line here before a massive crash in the stock market. If we don't manage to climb above the minus 0.236, we might see a pullback here. And all I talked about was I'm going to hedge a short. I'm currently short the stock market here. I've been long the whole way up. I closed my longs position and I flipped into a short. But I realized most people here that watch technical analysis, all they understand is up or down. So if you start talking about something else that has to do with up or down, if you start talking about a potential pullback, if you start talking about hedging your positions, I realize people absolutely lose their mind. And I don't even know if they speak English because I got so many hate comments here. And I think most people here didn't even watch the video. So I really want to make myself clear here, guys. I'm just sharing with you what I believe, how I'm playing this market. If you want, you don't have to watch my technical analysis videos. All I said was I've been talking about this for weeks. Wait for the monthly close. The monthly close closed just above the resistance here, which looked very risky to me, and I'm sitting currently short here. So that's my outlook right now. Let's jump into the smaller time frame analysis here on Bitcoin. So here on the daily time frame, as I've been talking about for days now, we've been aiming for the original pitchfork here, which is sitting at around 75,000. So we have pulled it from the first wave here up to the third wave down to the fourth wave. My analysis hasn't changed. The only thing that has changed is the stock market could cause a catalyst here and we could pull back. So be cautious here. The market is extremely difficult to trade at the moment. In the past, we can see we hit the shift pitchfork here, then we flipped to the modified shift here, which we shorted. Even though I'm bullish, guys, yes, you can short even when you're bullish. And right now I'm looking for the original, which I'm going to look to short as well. If we get a pushback up here to the original pitchfork, even though I'm bullish, I'll look to short and take some profits on the downside. So I hope I make that clear. Something that I did mention in yesterday's video, I said pay attention to the modified shift here. So we broke above the modified shift and I said ideally I would like this to hold. Right now, if we zoom in here on the 4 hour, we can see the market has been very crazy. So yesterday we got a daily close above, then we came below it, and then we shot up right above this median line again, but right now we're under. So we can see here on the daily how we have gotten these crazy wicks. First yesterday we closed above it, then today we had a green candle, but it turned red right now. So as I've been saying, the stock market is very uncertain right now. As we know, Bitcoin has been following the stock market, so we have to be very cautious here with trading this market. So my idea was here on the modified shift, if we can hold this median line here, I would like to see continuation to the upside and take us to 275,000, just as we had here on the shift pitchfork, which we called here in the past. It also correlated from the lows here to the highs with the 0.31 Fibonacci. I said this is a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's exactly what we got here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of ABC right now. So as I said as well, once we broke this shift pitchfork here in the past, we got quite a few candles here before we came down and tested it before we went higher. So this time right now, when we're on the modified shift, we see we broke it, but then we very quickly came down below. And I will tell you why there's a difference. Because if you come here on the weekly, we can see, look at where the weekly close is looking at. It looks like the weekly close is going to get below. We still have, of course, the weekend ahead, so we have to see what price will do over the weekend. But we can see the monthly close will be, the weekly close looks like it's going to be below this modified shift median line. That's why when you zoom in here on smaller time frames, it's not as strong as the shift one was here. But because on the shift one here, we finished the week above, then we came down, retested it, and then we went higher. So usually when you see break of median lines, you want price to continue trending a bit sideways before it comes down to the median line, because right here on the modified shift we did break it, but we came very quickly down here. So as I said in yesterday's video, I got a lot of hate for it, for being a bit bearish here on Bitcoin. I know you guys only want to hear up or down, or most of you. I've got also a lot of positive comments. I thank you guys that actually pay attention to my analysis, but a lot of people just completely furious because I said be cautious here and I'm shorting the stock market while I'm staying long Bitcoin. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I would like to see this daily close climb above the modified shift for me to flip bullish. I still believe if we add here the original pitchfork once again, this target remains here at 76,000. But as I said, guys, sometimes I'm uncertain. I cannot every day jump here on the charts and tell you, well, it's going to go up or down from here. Right now, I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't know what Bitcoin is going to do. If I only look at the Bitcoin chart with ignoring the stock market, I'll tell you that this median line here has a 90% probability of getting reached around 70, let's say somewhere between 75 and 77,000. We could do this and then come up here, or we could even do this and then come up here, or we could do this. But this median line should get reached. But I'm worried about the stock market. I would like to see a monthly close above the minus 0.236. Once I see that, I'll be very confident to tell you guys go long Bitcoin. Right now, all I can tell you guys here, I'm still long here on my weekly. On the weekly chart here, I'm still sitting long. I haven't closed this long. Even if Bitcoin pulls back, I've got quite a good entry here. I've moved my stop loss to break even, so I'm gonna try, even if we come down here, try to ride this up all the way to 100,000. But on the shorter time frame, we have to be careful. We can zoom in here on we can add this Fibonacci here. We take from the lows to the highs here. So right now, Bitcoin is hovering above the 0.31 Fibonacci, but this Fibonacci is not the strongest, because we can see in the past, if we take from these highs here, we're already tested this 0.31 once, and something I've talked about for a long time, the market cannot always correct to the 0.31. At some point, the market needs to correct lower, and it needs to break the 0.31 before it goes higher. So this Fib is very powerful if you know how to use it. Just as if we zoom in here on the 4-hour time frame, we can see how many times on the way up it has acted as support. So the first time was from this high here, which I told guys, here's a good support area. So I called this low here. Then we called this low again here on the 0.31. And then we made another high. You can see once again you can pull the 0.31 here, which I said we want to wait for a daily close, which again it held. Yes, we got these big wicks here, but this was the demand zone we're talking about. With a nice demand zone here, we got a quick wick down here, then went up again. So right now, if we again keep pulling this 0.31, we can see again we're sitting at the 0.31. It can hold, guys, but my point is the market cannot always keep bouncing from the 0.31s here. In that case, the market will just continue to go up forever. At some point, I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks. So personally, I'm very careful here by just longing randomly at the 0.31, because I do think the market would need something lower. I'm not saying we have to go lower. We can see so far we're holding the 0.31 here, and we have a target here at 75k. So my target still remains 75k, but as I said to you guys, if you want, you can long this with a stop loss under here. This could be a good long. Personally, I'm still a bit skeptic here, since the weekend is also coming ahead, and we also need to look at the modified shift, which we're currently under. So the way I'm seeing it, we're kind of in between support and resistance. So I'll be very careful here overall on Bitcoin, what you're gonna do. So just have that in mind. Of course, once we get further price action, I will keep updating you. Something else I wanted to share with you with which I thought was very interesting. If we again come here on the stock market, we have from the on the monthly chart from the 1, 2, 3, 4, we can see the fourth wave bottom perfectly at the 0.31. Right now we found resistance at the minus 0.236. Yesterday on the stream, somebody asked me to cover the Dow Jones, and this is the first time actually I charted this here on the monthly time frame, and I thought it was very interesting. We can see the exact same pattern has been playing out. We have a 1, 2 from the second wave. We pull to the third wave. We can see once again algorithms start buying at the 0.31. Extremely insane. We can see on the monthly chart how precise these algorithms have been, and we can see again the Dow Jones got a monthly close below the minus 0.236. So we have to see. I would like ideal to climb above this here for me to be bullish again. As I said, these fips, the minus 0.236, are not rock solid. I usually only place trades based on the 0.31. These I used to take profits. But when it comes to macro charts like this, that's the reason why I opened a hedge here, because I do think these are significant, and I don't mind taking a stop loss to the upside while hedging my crypto portfolio, because as I said, if the stock market would start to pull back here, my crypto portfolio is gonna tank. So I opened a short here, and either I'll get stopped out on the short and crypto does well, Bitcoin continues to the upside, which benefits me, or a big crash could potentially maybe start. I'm not calling for it, and in that case I'm still hedged here sitting in my short, and I can get some profits out of the stock market. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope I've been clear with you here. Still aiming for this pitchfork here at around 75,000 here. I'm gonna look to short it. Actually, before I wanted to end the video, I still want to show you this smaller time frame pitchfork, which I thought was very interesting. So we take from the lows here to the highs and to the lows again. So we can see here how perfectly this median line here acted as resistance, both on the normal chart and the logarithmic scale. So very interesting here. Congratulations once again for those who shorted. We're live on YouTube once we hit this one, and I said there I'm not shorting this because I thought it was too risky, but we can see these median lines are really insane. We can also see previously on the modified shift pitchfork here how it acted as resistance, and once again on the shift one, if you zoom in even further here, we can see how it acted as resistance. And we can also see we've even broken below through the shift one. So right now Bitcoin is just kind of in no man's land here. We can continue to chop. The weekend is coming, so stay cautious guys here, and I hope you kind of got an overall idea what I'm looking for. Please guys, watch the entire video before commenting, because I get so many people telling me I flip-flop and bias when I literally show you I'm here long still Bitcoin. I haven't flipped bearish on Bitcoin yet, but I have been cautious. I have pulled my longs off the stock market and opened a hedge short. So that's my outlook for right now. Otherwise, I thank you guys for everybody that supports my work, for all the positive comments. I really enjoy hearing if you guys like my analysis. If you want, you can come here, join the free Discord. I have VIP Discord as well, but if you want to join the free Discord, I post here daily updates here on Bitcoin, so you can get my daily Bitcoin charts here. I keep you guys all the time updated. You can see here my track record, see if I know what I'm talking about or if it's just random lines on the chart. Otherwise guys, I thanks so much for watching, and I'll update you again guys tomorrow when we have further price action.